Gentlemen, we're going to show you 10 body language tricks for alpha males today. The two main components of being alpha are as follows. 1. Proving to other men that you don't feel threatened by them. And more significantly, 2. Proving to ladies that you are authentic and not a copycat. The top 10 body language cues of the contemporary alpha male are presented today to assist you in becoming an alpha. And since we don't want your attempts to become more alpha to backfire, we're also going to teach you the number one method males who strive to be more dominant unintentionally come across as weak. All right, let's begin. A man tenth, determine the tempo. Alphas and non-alphas differ in numerous ways, but the walk is always, always the first thing that most people notice. When a person is anxious, he frequently exhibits this by walking frantically and with short steps. The kind of stroll that conveys the message, "See you later." Not because they have somewhere to be, though. In contrast, the alpha male's relaxed and unhurried movements, the person who acts as though time itself is under his control and the world according to his schedule. Now, before you say, well, all I need to do is ensure that I walk slowly and wait for others. Wait a minute. As opposed to simply walking slowly at all times, the goal is to walk in a way that naturally encourages people, including girls, to adjust their pace to match yours. Do you notice the difference? 9. Claim the throne, assume the throne. If you haven't seen this before, tell us. The man is sitting down, hunched over, with his shoulders shrugged to his ears, his chest buried in, and he may be gazing at something intriguing on his phone. Isn't that a familiar sight? Unfortunately, most guys probably sit like that these days without even realizing it, since such position is much more likely to make girls question whether everything is all right. Examine our alpha now, comfortably and calmly leaning back while still having the opportunity to speak with anyone who want to do so. In addition to being laid back and attentive of others, he consistently gives off the cues that he is in his seat. Interested in entering the alpha zone? Attempt to settle into this traditional posture. Cross your right ankle over your left knee. Lie back, lay your arm up behind you, and observe the entire scene alter, assuming you have the room. 8. Let your chest open. Along with not slouching in your chair, open your chest. Your grandmother was absolutely correct about another important aspect of standing the correct way. If you examine it carefully in order to establish a genuine, commanding presence for themselves wherever they go, dominant, fearless men all have a propensity to stand in a particular manner. It's not dangerous. Aggression is not intended, nor is it defensive. It's mainly just open right now. There are numerous methods to produce a natural down for any stance, but one very practical tip to really make it work is to put your hands behind your back when you're walking or even just conversing with others. Without getting too technical, one of the more susceptible areas of the human body is the chest. Therefore, by putting your hands behind your back and using your other hand to hold your wrist, you expose yourself to everything and subtly convey to everyone that you don't perceive any danger. Take a look at what that does. 7. Make a good first impression. Level the initial impact. It's not new to you. A firm handshake conveys a lot about a man, even when it comes to women. However, many men fail to understand that a proper handshake involves much more than simply grasping the other person's hand. Yes, it is true. You don't want to shake hands with slack hut noodles. As with any other physical interaction, the best approach to demonstrate confidence is to demonstrate control. Therefore, you don't want to overcompensate by shaking too much. It's moving so fast here. Here are some tips for perfecting the shake while maintaining eye contact with the other person. Hold their hand firmly after extending yours and allowing them to approach you. But again, avoid applying too much pressure. Then shake up and down no more than 3 times. Remember to grin while you shake. And don't forget to mention something. 6. Control of displays. Control of displays. Let's begin. Alpha males' physical interactions with others, particularly with ladies, constitute a significant portion of their body language and, when executed correctly, represent the pinnacle of the 3 C's of a true alpha male. You could be immediately placed in the jail block, or, worse, the beta block if your comfort and confidence chemistry are off. But we understand many men refrain from touching girls because they don't want to worry about upsetting the lady they want. However, the issue is that touching is so effective for alphas because it carries some risk. It's only a touch, but many men make mistakes that can lead to serious problems. When a girl sees a man who is understanding enough to know when and how to touch her, in addition, she sees a man who knows how to manage danger and her trust well. All right, are you curious in how to use touch in a safe way? If you've spoken to an alpha before, here are 2 ways to get you started. Take a short hug. Simply follow her example and mimic her touch if she touches you, and if you see her again, let her know you're friendly. 5. Style enhancement, style exaggeration. Even though we are not familiar with body language, having a distinctive style is a major component of being alpha. Note that we stated your style, not that of your friends or a famous person. This is crucial, just as body language. You don't need us to remind you that girls do notice your attire, but your sense of style speaks for you. Therefore, it is impossible to overstate how important it is to know what is fashionable and attractive. Yet knowing is half the battle. What you do with that knowledge is crucial because, unlike most men, alphas use their style to stand out and make a significant difference. As with everything, Alpha Sila is about as astute about it as possible. On the one hand, you always stick with the pack, but on the other, you may be too unorthodox and difficult to relate to even be regarded as an alpha. I wonder what will truly set you apart from other males since you'll never be noticed. Look at this video. We have 4 more alpha male body language skills at the conclusion of this video, so if you watch me intelligence frequently, stay watching. We are going to demonstrate the most frequent error that men make inadvertently revealing that they are still not alpha. All right, let's resume discussing them. 4. Consistency of message communication. Uniformity. Being alpha is fundamentally about having the ability to communicate without using words. Actually, it may be dis skill on its own. Because of this, as you are already aware, girls react to some guys far more than others. Any girl finds nonverbal communication to be very attractive. When flirting, it's the foundation of everything. And without it, regardless of how fantastic you are, it's not a pill struggle. Chemistry, ease, and even displaying your sense of humor all start without you speaking. Fortunately, the secret to becoming an expert at nonverbal, it's easy to communicate with a girl since you just need to align your facial expressions with your true thoughts. It should be simple, right? Okay, so not so quickly since a man's facial expression may not always convey his true feelings for a variety of reasons, but the most common one is that he may be trying to project confidence when in fact he lacks it. Therefore, linking that to being an alpha male, you can see why they do it and that their confidence is the reason. This is the crucial portion. 3. The bluff buff. Depending on who you ask, there may be a difference between being powerful and seeming strong. However, being powerful is the one thing that will push you closer to being an alpha 100% of the time. When we talk about being strong, we mean having a body that actually possesses some power rather than one that only appears to have it. Moreover, it is the possession of actual physical power rather than its appearance that makes any man appear to be the baddest person in the room. In order to get true power, what should you concentrate on? Well, there might not be anything more contentious. However, any workout that tests your explosive power and heavy lifting skills will make you feel and seem like an alpha to boys and girls all day. 2. The obstacle, the difficulty. Now that we've discussed how alphas sit, stroll, and communicate without speaking, now let's discuss how they make eye contact. Haven't we discussed that enough already? Not exactly, as we will demonstrate to you how alphas are the masters of eye contact this time. It all begins with that little thing known as the fight or flight reaction, even if other men typically suffer with it more. I'm sure you've heard about it. However, you might not realize how much this instinct influences every interaction you have, including eye contact. Alpha males are better at not running away from a girl's initial eye contact, and it's that same instinct to retain eye contact for a moment and acknowledge making eye contact with a girl provides them a significant advantage. First, isn't it obvious that an alpha cannot be an alpha without being a leader? Although many men are aware that they should attempt to assume the role of leader, alphas are unique in that they are instantly viewed as such by the group. It's almost like gravity. This makes the dynamics far more complex than that. If they tried to be the leader, they couldn't. For them, it comes naturally, just as it does for everyone around them, to submit to that leadership without any issues. This leads us to a frequent query. What if an alpha wishes to serve as the alpha's leader? Instead of disappearing into the background, you have to fake it until you make it. You must be at the forefront of any circumstance, whether it be at the office, school, or function. In any case, just putting yourself out there and being visible will quickly alter the perceptions of others around you and ultimately turn you into the alpha. This is the most common thing people do to become unintentional beta testers. It is the most common thing that men do to indicate that they may be beta males, yet there are other signs that a man may be a beta. By far, negativity is the most important factor. Nowadays, there's a distinction between negativity, where an alpha rolls with the punches, and displaying some contentment in living. A beta often holds the outside world responsible for his issues. As an alpha, he constantly makes excuses for why his life is difficult and complains about how awful it is. However, he naturally dislikes saltiness. Thus, rather than attacking other men defensively, praises others as much as he might praise himself. Guys, you can use these 10 body language tips for alpha males today. Additionally, why not while you're here? Watch these more fantastic videos. The top one has been handpicked specifically for you.